A lot of people would take one look at this game's title and go, oh no, not another failure of a game based on the once hit TV show The Walking Dead. Looking at you, Survival Instinct.
No.
And to be honest with you, I was one of those people. But the very same day I sassed the shit out of this game, I actually bought it and played it, and gotta say, it's one of the best VR experiences I've had to date. Welcome to my review of The Walking Dead: Saints and Sinners. The game has absolutely nothing in common with the TV series or the comics, apart from the zombies of course, so the name is essentially a plea for attention, but regardless of that little marketing ploy, it actually makes for an amazing VR game. You play as a man known as The Tourist, and are tasked with helping a man named Casey out of the famous reserve that is rumoured to hold everything you'd need to survive the end days. Throughout the story mode you are given choices to make, some even determining a survivor's fate. Being in VR, these choices feel a lot more impactful, and seeing as it's your trigger finger making these choices, it can really leave you thinking, what have I done? Basically how it works is that you have your home, where you have your crafting tables and your bed and your radio. Each time you sleep, the game saves and you start a new day. At the beginning of this new day, you will travel to your skiff, pick up your map and choose a location to go and loot for the day. Once you get to the area of your choice, you are free to loot and murder as much as you like. Make it count though, because at the start of each new day, available supplies will dwindle and the amount of walkers in the world will grow, making the game more and more challenging with each passing day. You have 3 crafting tables back at your resting place. These consist of a gear station, a survival station and a gun station. Each crafting table is similar to skill trees and you will need to collect specific resources to upgrade them. There are also recipes hidden throughout the world that give you the ability to craft special weapons or health items. Firearms have a higher chance of jamming the lower their durability gets, and eventually all weapons can break. Going into a skirmish with a low durability weapon could mean the difference between life and aggravated respawn, so kit up carefully. If you do happen to die, then you get respawned at the skiff in the area you died in, and are given one chance to regain your backpack with all your loot in. If you die before re-obtaining your gear, then it is lost forever. Sort of like the Dark Souls death system. Your max stamina gets drained the more you do strenuous tasks, such as sprinting and crouching, and your max health can also be lowered by encountering certain walkers that can make you ill. All this immerses you into the survival situation even more, and the choice between fight or flight becomes even more important. The game also features a time limit for each area you choose to loot. This takes the form of herds of walkers that have been riled up by the nearby church bells. As soon as you enter your chosen area, the countdown begins. Your character wears a watch that is synced to the church bell ringing, so you'll have to keep an eye on it, because if you're caught looting when the bells go off, that's you pretty much done for. For many people, this may be a real turn-off. Merely uttering the words "time limit" to a gamer can make them fall to the ground convulsing and foaming at the mouth. But here I think it's done pretty well. It adds an extra challenge to the game, as you'll have to prioritise the specific materials you need each time you go looting, except for the few sacred times where you don't have to worry about a herd at all. Seeing as it's your own aim with a gun or swing with an axe that can determine your own survival, it really feels like you've accomplished something when you return to the resting place with a hefty bag of loot. Needless to say, but walkers can only be killed with a headshot with a gun, braining with a melee weapon, or just straight up decapitation. Also, if you kill a human and don't finish them off properly, you'll likely see them later shambling around as one of the Walking Dead. The inventory system is also simple and efficacious. For example, when changing firearms you do not need to change the ammo you pick out of your ammo pouch, as it changes to correspond with the gun held in your dominant hand. The ammo pouch resides just in front of you, making it easy to access during those more intense situations. You also have a holster on your left and one on your right, for you to harbour any kind of one-handed weapon you like in each. Your flashlight is stored on your front on your top left, and your journal on your front on your top right. You may also store a long weapon such as a shotgun or a katana over your right shoulder, while using the grip button over your left shoulder will bring up your inventory menu in the form of your backpack, allowing you to pick and choose what you need from the slots inside. Storing loot is really easy as well, as all you have to do is fling whatever loot you want over your left shoulder and it will be tucked away nicely in your backpack. You may also store 2 more long weapons on your backpack when fully upgraded, so the only problem you'll have with your inventory is being spoiled for choice. One of the things I loved about this game is the fact that the walkers respond to sounds made by items you drop in game or gunshots fired off, making you think twice before plugging that walker in front of you with your 45. They can even react to your own voice. Oi, wanker! All this allows for different playstyles, like distracting walkers with a glass bottle thrown next to a proximity grenade you put down, or even luring walkers towards an enemy outpost to save you some bullets. Although I said I enjoyed the game thoroughly, this does not mean the game doesn't have its flaws. For example, the movement of your character can be extremely temperamental at times. You could be looting and all of a sudden your character refuses to move. This makes for a slightly infuriating experience when you're trying to escape from a herd of walkers and your character chooses this exact time to see if the walker's vision is based on movement. Spoilers, it isn't. This happened only a few times in my 21-hour playthrough, but was still agitating nonetheless. In conclusion, The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners has raised the bar and set the standard for any future action-orientated VR games. It's a true delight to play with a good story, intriguing characters and a host of ways to traverse each different area. I highly recommend picking this one up.